live stream, and then I will be ready to rock and roll. And let me see here. So Jim, are you, I love it. So Jim is here with us. His name is Jim Kaspari. Uh-oh, wait, sorry, echo. There we go. All right, so I'm here today with Jim Kaspari, and he's a business coach and also a heart-centered entrepreneur. And I met Jim last week, and I just thought, oh, this is my kind of guy. Like, he's my kind of people. He's not only a great listener, it turns out he's also like a business coach that seems to take a really heart-centered approach to looking at life. So, Jim, would you mind just sharing a little bit um, about your approach um, to entrepreneurialism?
I could take up the whole hour and a half with that, but I won't waste your time. I think in a nutshell, what I've found is just like weight loss in business, a lot of times we know what to do and we're not doing it.
Yeah,
So, so when
sure.
Crystal talks about me being heart centered, I'll tell you guys, I have a degree in biological sciences. I was a former chemical engineer. I come from a line of ancestry of engineers. So left brain analytical analysis, thought, planning, etc., comes second nature to me. And where
Sure.
I've found the biggest value to helping my clients and myself move forward is a spiritual connection, whether it's my heart, my gut, my intuition, and helping people, being a mirror for people, and letting them know through, like, me as a conduit, letting them know what's behind what they're thinking, what's behind their fears, what are some things that will really help them move forward and take action to get to where they want to go. And if people need analysis or planning or prioritization of action items, that's something I can absolutely help them with. But I found that, um, and it looks like it's mostly women on the call, and you guys are much better at intuition than me, but I'm working on it. And it's been for a guy, I'm pretty good. No, it's been magical. Things have come through me, and I just say, hey, this is just came in my head. I don't know if it's crazy or if it's valuable, but blah, blah, blah. And people be like, holy crap, how did you know that? And I said, I don't know. So I guess that's what I would say is unique and special. And from a heart-based, another perspective, I love my clients. I love the most multifaceted problem solving of being a successful entrepreneur. And it's also lonely. It's nice to have a group like Crystal's and her support for you guys to not just spin around in your head, but she can guide you. She can help you process, also from a business perspective, but from her magical spiritual connection. So I'm looking forward to learning and growing from today's session just as much as contributing, hopefully.
Yeah, fantastic, Jim, and welcome. I'm going to give you a round of applause because I think that's kind of neat to do.
Thank you.
um, and look, I want to just give you all a little bit of an understanding of how we're going to work today. Um, we are going to we're going to stop at 8:15 sharp, okay? And Jim and I are going to take you through a process that is going to help you um, get in touch with the greatest potential of your heart-centered business, whatever that is. And I told him a little bit about some of you who are regular attendees on our sessions. So he has a little bit of an idea about us being diverse, right? We come from very different backgrounds, but there is that one thing that we have in common, and that is that we are heart-centered entrepreneurs, meaning we um, we like to do things our own fucking way. Okay. This is really what being a heart centered entrepreneur means to me. It means that we don't want to listen. Well, we do. We want to listen to experts, but we know that the true expert starts within ourselves. We are the number one expert. And so no matter what our background is, having the opportunity to to come together in this way is going to be really important for us. But getting in touch with the greatest potential of what our kind of higher self, broader self, that is what I think would be the most powerful way for us today to use this hour, 1 hour and 15 minutes. So, the our objective today is to connect with the greatest potential of your heart-centered business, to have you connect with the greatest potential of your heart-centered business. Okay. So we have basically four parts that we're going to cover today. We're going to start off and have you all do a personal kind of self assessment. And then we're going to move you into a process that Jim calls the crystallize your vision process, where we have you look at the bigger picture of who you are and what it is you really desire. And we're talking about like kind of at the level of your higher self. I would say like what is your divine life purpose, or what is your soul's agenda around around your business? Because if you've been working with me for a while, you'll know that your soul's agenda might be a little bit different than your ego's agenda. Okay. And the soul's agenda is always playing itself out exactly as it's supposed to. And the ego is like, what the fuck? What just happened? Why am I having this hardship? Or why is this challenge coming up for me? So, we want to take the first part in the assessment to kind of get in touch with the ego's resistances, right? And then in the bigger picture, we're going to surrender to the soul's. We're going to listen and surrender to the soul's agenda. Then in part three, we're going to look at the kind of the seeds of the soul's vision, and to have you connect on the four levels of your being with your higher self's kind of big vision for you and your business, right? So the four levels of your existence for me, and Jim, I'm kind of just, I've added some things, so I might not have said this to you specifically when we were talking. So excuse me if I'm going off the books a little
It's
bit.
all good.
All right,
We're just
cool.
gonna roll.
All right, yeah, I figured you'd be able to. That's why I wasn't worried. But it's basically the four levels of your being: your mindset, your mind, your inner thinking landscape, your emotional landscape, the material physical world, and your energy, actions, behaviors. So the things that you do, the choices that you make. Okay. And then the very last part, we're going to give you some home fun uh, that you're going to take away and do. And hopefully, when we meet here next week, ladies, Jim won't be with us, but hopefully, when we meet next week, you will be taking action on the bigger vision of your business. All right. So, we're going to bypass introductions today because we've only got a little bit of time. And, but I just want to acknowledge you all and thank you all for being here. We've got Sangeeta, Cora, Chelsea, Ashley, Simha. It's so nice to see you. I haven't seen you in a while. And Alex is here. Alex, that's a beautiful picture. I love that. That's so, wait, Alex, did you just do headshots? Is that a new headshot?
Oh no, this is an old one.
Oh, okay.
Thank you so much.
But it's a beautiful picture, very
Thank
nice. And
you.
of course, Chelsea's got her professional headshot too. Now we have to watch Chelsea because this is Chelsea's professional headshot. But I know that Chelsea is a renegade. She's a badass butterfly, and she looks all upright, like, "Hi, I'm a real estate agent, but I'll fuck you up." All right. So just saying, Chelsea's got a little something hidden back there that you all may not see totally from this very straight-laced photo that she's putting out there. All right, so um, I want to um, get us started. Jim, I've got this assessment here, this assessment section, and I've got two things noted. And what I'm thinking, Jim, is that I'm gonna do this assessment, right? Walk them through the assessment and let you take over that bigger picture section with the crystallizing your vision. Is that okay? You're muted, Jim.
That sounds great. And I wanted to check in. Have you talked to the group about gremlin or saboteur?
No.
Okay, I'll throw that in right before the bigger picture then.
All right, excellent. So would you okay, excellent. I know where you're going with this, I think. I can't wait. Okay, so um what I want you all to do is to stop for a moment and identify within your mind what your current vision is, okay? And what I want you to also do is identify the role that you play in your business vision. Now, here's a little example. When I had a day spa, my vision was for my business to be, I had 3 rooms. And so it was very easy for me to say, well, I want to have these 3 rooms doing these services and I want to work with these people. Okay. That's the vision I had of my business, and I had the experience built in that I wanted people to have. I had all that stuff put out there. The role that I played in that business, my vision was for me to not be a worker in that business, right? I was not opening that business so that I would have a job. I was opening that business so that the business would function with me walking around, greeting people, offering them tea, making sure they were comfortable, and of course, overseeing my domain, right? All my employees. I had 13 employees. I wanted to be the boss, okay? And me also being in the community, going to yoga studios, generating business. I did not want to be locked into a room doing services, working. So there's a difference between your business and you. So what I want you all to do right now is just from where you are, write down or at least think about what your vision is for your business and the role that you play into it. Okay. And I'm going to give you 3 minutes. Okay. 3 minutes. I'm setting the timer. All right. Go on. All right, lovelies. Now, um, the next thing, and Jim, I'm going to want your feedback on this. The next thing that I want you all to do is to identify any blind spots or resistances that you have to your business vision. Jim, do you want to talk about the gremlins and the saboteurs right now? You're muted. Mhm.
Yes, I think it's a perfect time to do
Okay.
this.
All right. Great.
And you were probably aware of this, or you've heard it maybe with different language, but until we really master identification of our gremlin or saboteur, and all that is, there's a portion of our brain at the stem of the brain called the amygdala, and it's developed. It's the primitive portion of our brain that was developed thousands of years ago to save us from saber-toothed tigers, etc. And it was very useful in those type of situations. But 98, 99% of the time, when that portion of our brain speaks up, it is not useful. It keeps us stuck. It keeps us in fear, in reactivity. And since it's a portion of our brain, it knows us really well. It knows our higher brain, and it will play on your biggest fears, and it will be convincing, and it will be logical, and it'll actually be visceral. So you'll probably feel it. Different people will feel it in different parts of their body. So it could be in your chest, like in your neck, when you feel tension in your gut. And for clarity in identifying this voice, and it's a great practice. I found out about this over a decade ago and have been practicing, and it takes continuous practice because the primitive portion of our brain evolves with the higher centers of our brains. So it will be equally convincing, and we have to continually evolve to identify it, give it a hug and let it go, and take action anyway. So how it works is whenever we're taking ourselves to the next level, whether it's in a relationship or physically or in our business, or we're doing something new that we've never done before, or we're doing more follow-up or more marketing, our brain is going to tell us things that scare us, that are negative, and they're logical, like, oh, well, you don't want to bother people by following up too much, or what are people going to think? You're money hungry, blah, 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 blah. Whatever you're sensitive about, and this is for all of us. There is a small percentage of the population that doesn't have a fear center in their brain, or it's very, well, that doesn't matter because it applies to most of us. So the two questions you can ask to help identify this voice and whether it's serving you or not is, one, does this serve me in taking the action that I need to take to get to where I want to go? And then the second one is kind of a combination of questions. It's, what's the likelihood of this happening, and what's the impact if it happens? So I'll repeat those. One is, does this thought serve me in taking the action I need to take to get to where I want to go, or to serve the people I want to serve? And then the second piece is, what's the likelihood of it happening, and what's the impact? If the likelihood and impact are both high, then you need to create another plan or a backup plan. 98, 99% of the time, you can take that thought and just say, hey, I love you, gremlin. I know you're trying to protect me and keep me safe, but this isn't a real danger. So the best way you can serve me is just pipe down, and I'm going to take action, and let's roll forward. I like the idea of, and you can have a picture in your mind of a gremlin or saboteur, or it could be your inner child, however you want to identify with it. But my advice, strong advice, is not to fight with it, because that's exactly what it wants, because that's keeping you stuck and keeping you out of taking action. So today's going to be a great day to use those questions and identify those things that come up for us, because we're going to play big today. We're going to go big with our visions, and stuff is going to come up. So most likely, if you feel fear, anxiety, stress, negativity in your body, that's your gremlin piping up.
Which is a good thing.
Yes, it is. That's a great sign that you're taking yourself, your life, your business to the next level. And to be alternatively clear, the best ideas that you want to take action on immediately are quiet. And it comes when we pray, when we meditate, when we're not doing anything. So that may seem totally counterintuitive, but it is the best action you can possibly take. So that's the difference. That's how you identify those voices. Intuition is super quiet. You don't feel it in your body, maybe a little tingle, but in a good way.
Yeah.
And so that's the awareness and the practice that I love to share with people before going big.
Yeah, very good. So I'm excited because now you all have a little something to think about as you go into the next thing I need you to do, which is to identify any blind spots or resistances that you have to your current vision and the role that you play in your business. So this would be a great time for you to notice and to acknowledge the gremlin and saboteur that exists inside. All right, I'm going to give you all another 3 minutes because we'd like to, Jim and I would like to hear back from you all after this, so that we can kind of just talk to you about some of the things that are going to come, that are coming up. So what I'm going to ask you all to do, if you'd like, is to share maybe one resistance, just one. Okay, we don't have a lot of time, and just so that we can maybe give you a little bit of feedback. And I'm assuming also that listening to the feedback of one person is going to help you all, right? So all right, setting that timer now for 3 minutes. Hi, Thomas. Hey, Jim, while the ladies are working on their resistances, would you mind typing in your contact information, website into the chat for me? I have all that ready to put up in the Facebook group, but I want to just make sure in case they want to take it down, they can do that.
Do you want email, phone, or just website?
Sure, put everything in there. Put your name,
Okay.
pop it all in there for them. And then they can just do a copy paste for the info. All right. So, what I'm going to do is just maybe throw this out there. I want to know if anybody, I want you all to share with us your blind spots and resistances, only if you feel like it. You don't all have to, but if you want to, we're open to it. Please go ahead and share with us just one. Unmute yourself and go ahead when you're ready.
Okay, I'll go first.
Great, Sangeeta. Good morning.
Morning. So for me, the blind spot or my resistance has always been, which I'm still working on, is will I be able to make the same amount of money that I'm currently making at my work? And if I do the transition into doing my own freelance, am I going to be able to have the same income that I'm having? And will that be possible?
Yeah, beautiful. My initial kind of response to that, Sangeeta, is the place where I always start, which is how does that feel in your body? How does that resistance to that doubt of will I make enough money? How does that feel in your body?
So when I think of it from when I'm looking at it from my heart perspective, I'm like, yes, I'm very good at what I do and I'm definitely going to do it. But when I think of it from my ego self, then I feel like uh, I'm not kind of very sure, so it kind of holds me back and I feel very uh, I won't use the word stuck, but it makes me feel like very uh, not very comfortable, to take that big leap. So it just makes me feel a little caught up. Yeah.
Yeah. Jim, how would you respond to Sangeeta? What's your feedback for her?
I would say that's a totally normal response or fear, if you will. And my recommendation is to turn that fear into motivation. And one way of doing that is, well, the first thing is to visualize standing over a picket fence with sharp pickets, and it's really uncomfortable to have one foot in the job and one foot in your business. So you want to get off that fence as soon as possible. So phrases come to mind like, burn the bridge, commit, go for it. And that's easy to say, but really like embracing that fear and turning it into a motivation. The best way to do that is to smile, to laugh, to play. And a game that you could play is, well, I'm going to take my job money and I'm just going to put it aside. And I have to live off my entrepreneur money. So that's one way of playing with it. But dancing with it and perpetuating it won't serve you. So there's something in it for you to make that jump. And so like what I was saying about the gremlin and the voice and the message that comes up, I'm not sure if I can make as much money in my business as I am currently making in my job. That's a factual statement. But it's like, so what now what? Right? I think everybody in your position has that thought, but it's what we do with that thought that gives us power.
Yeah. It's interesting because, I call myself a badass butterfly because I am. I've gone through transformation. I've known my fear. I've been in the cocoon of fear. And really, the only way to break out of that cocoon of fear, there are many ways to break out of the cocoon of fear, but I have to take a multifaceted approach. There has to be the nurturing of the self, which says, yeah, I'm afraid, this is scary. There's not a net I'm doing that. But then there also needs to be the freaking practicalities, okay? Make a freaking business plan. Outline everything. How much money do I need to do this? And then that is the way that you can kind of give the gremlin the finger. Like on one hand, like gremlin, you're right. Thank you for showing me that I'm, that this is a potential reality in this three-dimensional world that I won't make enough money. But then the other thing is, how are you going to say I need to make $200,000 a year without a plan, right? And how many people run their businesses without having a business plan? Without thinking about where they want to go in the future, without thinking, well, in order for me to put my kids through college and in order for me to buy another house and to vacation here, the fact of the matter is I need to make $500,000 a year as a minimum. This is how I, as a badass butterfly, have understood my business and have had the success and the ability to do what I'm doing without suffering, financial consequence, the devastation that people go through. You do the nurturing of the fear, like, I hear you, this is scary. Yeah. And as Jim said, so what? Like, you've been nurtured. Now what are we going to do about this? Go get a job? Stay at the job where I don't have freedom, where I can't make my own hours, where I don't want to get up in the morning. It's hard to get up because I can't face the day. No. So you do practical things, okay? Practical and emotional. And you don't have to be as loud as I am, okay? You don't have to get up in the morning and be like, I'm awake. It's 4:00. I'm awake. Although Sangeeta totally gets up at 4:00.
Yeah, my favorite t-shirt says action kills fear.
Yeah, exactly. And taking any kind of action, figuring out the action to take, coming to community like this on a regular basis. This is why I have sessions twice a week for you all, because showing up is how you can come in today. You can have that fear. Crystalline's going to be like, what are you doing with that fear? You need a business plan, blah, 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 right? And then you get rid of it, then you can move on to the next thing. Excellent. Who else would like to share their resistance or a limiting belief, a disempowered emotion, whatever resistance you have to your current business vision and the role you play?
I'll go ahead and share.
Cora, go ahead.
Hi, everybody. So actually, I'm feeling really positive this morning because, my block, my blind spot I talk about is money, of course. It's always money, money, money. And I'm actually doing this 5-day abundance challenge, and it has to do with, overcoming your money block. So that's definitely it, that fear of just not having enough financial backing right now at this present moment. And working with you, doing this abundance thing, it's that idea that everything's made up of energy and money is just a part of that too. Money is just energy. And so trying to figure out those ways just to unblock myself and let all of that flow. And so I've been talking a lot to my future self, and she seems like a very nice older woman that definitely has the farm and the animals that that we want. And so with my the universe hating me and crashing my hard drive, I'm just taking that as an opportunity to stay positive. And today I've had some opportunities come up that I think are going to actually absolutely lead to financial abundance for me. So I'm pretty excited about all of it.
So it doesn't sound like you're very resistant to your resistances.
Not right now at this present.
Sorry, it sounds like you're resisting your resistances by kind of feeling like I'm good, right? Very good.
Right.
Excellent, Cora. Very good.
So I do. Yeah, I feel good.
I'm glad to hear that. Does anybody else want to share a blind spot or resistance that that they experience to their vision and the role they play? All righty, very good. Oh,
Where do we
Ashley's
start
on.
it?
You started
Ashley.
out saying that there was going to be 3 minutes to talk about vision for business and role in it, which is something that we sort of talked about last time. But we were talking about like, what is your actual, day to day going to look like? As in, like, what do you imagine your work being within the business?
Mhm.
And then I was working on that, and then while I thought we were still in the 3 minutes for that, you guys were talking about other stuff, and then I realized that you were starting another 3 minutes for something else while I was still working on writing that, and I thought that I was still in the middle of those 3 minutes. So like
3 minutes fly,
so I,
Ashley.
I barely got the explanation of what you meant by gremlin and resistances. I mean, I can just assume like, okay, well, what are my fears around my business in general? So
So
then I
just
started working on that.
so Ashley, what we're doing right now is we're just identifying, we've already given you all 3 minutes to identify any blind spots. And what we're doing now is we're sharing one blind spot or resistance that you would like to maybe share with us and get some coaching on.
No,
So you
yeah,
have,
I got that much. I'm just
okay.
saying, like, were we going to discuss the first part as well at some point?
No, we're not, because we have to be finished in
Okay.
a few minutes. So I'm telling you all what we're going to be sharing as we're kind of going along. So right now, would you like to maybe share a resistance or a blind spot that you came up with and get maybe Jim's perspective on it?
Yeah, well, I mean, when you said action kills fear, I'm seeing that because I know that, I have a lot of doubt about how much reception or what kind of reception I'm going to get for the video game that we're developing until I start actually seeing some sort of community forming and responding around it. So, basically trying to get a sense for what kind of scale of interest we have. I can see, there are some similar games that get more than others, like in terms of orders of magnitude, different levels of support that they get. In terms of Patreon backers, in terms of downloads, in terms of followers on different social media platforms. Like, here's one that has, in the hundreds of people. Here's one that has in the thousands of people. Here's one that has, many more than that. So what am I going to be able to achieve? And so that's something that, I worry about a lot. And how can I, get myself to be more on the higher end of that, and feel more reassured that I will, be able to make enough money to support this work ideally without having to resort to, doing a bunch of commissions, like really grinding away at that to make up the difference. So,
Very good.
yeah.
Excellent. Jim, would you like to give Ashley some feedback on this? Ashley is a regular to my to the live stream, and so we've been doing a lot of work, and so she's quite a deep thinker, and we've also been working on this. So it'd be great to hear your feedback.
Great. Ashley, it sounds like you missed a little bit of the gremlin definition. It's really just the thoughts that come up when we think about our goals, our dreams, and are taking ourselves to the next level. And it sounds like you want to take your video game to the next level. So the way to identify that voice is, does that thought serve me in getting to where I want to go? Just as a reminder. And then the quiet intuitive voice often tells us exactly what to do. And when you look at, you have doubt, that's totally normal. And when you look at other people or other video games and the support that they have, what I failed to mention in my definition of the gremlin and how to make it work for you is to turn doubt or fear upside down into a powerful question. So in your case, it sounds like your doubt is, can we make enough money? Can we get enough support? Can we get enough likes, or, all the things that you're talking about? We don't need to go into those details. And that question isn't powerful. It doesn't serve you. But when you turn it upside down and say, let's analyze the games that are getting thousands of whatever, instead of the ones that are getting tens or hundreds. Let's look at, or tens of thousands. I always say, model the people, the systems, the processes, that have fruit on the tree that get results.
Yes.
And that's what I've been
So
doing for
that's
the past couple of weeks is, looking
great.
back into their histories and the very beginnings of their social media, accounts, and like what were their first posts, and like what's the timeline
Excellent.
of how they transitioned through these different stages of building interest in the game, and, releasing demos, and, so forth.
Yeah.
Excellent. That's really great, Ashley.
Yeah, and you have Crystal for coaching support. So that's a great example of taking a fear or a gremlin thought and turning it into powerful analysis and then action.
And Ashley, you're so creative. I'm wondering, have you looked into getting a mentor within the gaming industry? Like, have you looked into reaching out to people who are doing this already and asking them for conversations, for help? Have you thought about that?
Oh, I've thought about it, and I can see them interacting with each other and sort of like, reposting each other's, spam, I guess, for their games, so that, like, the other person's followers sees that. And I'm like, well, how do they arrange that amongst themselves? Like, what kind of
Right.
messages are they sending each other that I'm not seeing, to ask for those things? Because if I go and I approach them, I don't want it to be in this, inadvertently uncouth way. That's sort
Sure.
of, and I mean, like,
Right.
I think that I know how to generally be polite, but I don't know, like, what, the
The
conventions
rules
are
are
around this.
totally.
And I would love to just read their messages and learn that, but I can't sometimes.
Yeah. Beautiful, Ashley. Look, and at the same time, there's a part of me that totally gets that. And at the same time, I'm also thinking about myself and how that gremlin tells me that I don't know. But when I refer to that gremlin, when I confront that gremlin, I can kind of quiet it and then see if the universe, once that gremlin is quiet, if any other channels will open and let in some information that was hidden from me before, but by the gremlin, okay, the saboteur, but then let some things in. Might be interesting to see what happens when you do that.
Yeah.
I think we probably better go into the next part of our workshop this morning and look at the bigger picture, right? So what we want to do is now we want to kind of take you into Jim's crystallize your vision process. And we want to do is kind of get you to identify the bigger picture vision and surrender to that. And Jim's process is going to help you use your 6 senses to connect to that greater vision. And then what we're going to have you do is write down some insights, any insights that you get. Okay. Now, again, we're going to do this in a little bit of a timed manner. So what I'm going to ask you all to do is maybe just to close your eyes a little bit and get into, I'm sitting here, Cora's walking the farm. Cora's doing farm work. But what I want you all to do is to get as still as you possibly can. And Chelsea's probably driving. And just kind of close your eyes and take some deep breaths. And I want you to think about your soul. And I want you to intellectually think about your soul for a moment. And I personally like to think about my soul as living in my heart. You might find your soul living somewhere else, or it might talk to you through your body as a whole or through nature or whatever. Okay, but wherever your soul is, I want you to understand your soul as a consciousness. And this aspect of yourself, your soul, has a much broader perspective than the human aspect of yourself. which you might call your ego, but let's just call it the human part of you, okay? So what you can do is kind of look at your soul as a ball of light or a being, or you can feel it in your heart as a ball of light, wisdom. And you can ask yourself, what is it that I can do in this lifetime? What's the great opportunity for me in this lifetime for my business and myself as a being, as a conduit for my clients, for my own artistry, for my own creativity, for my own wealth, for the people that I can serve? What is the biggest, greatest potential? And I want you all to just take some deep breaths and allow that to start to come to you. And as you all are letting this vision form, this relationship with your soul and your business, Jim is going to very gently help you crystallize this process. So just understand that this is now working through you, giving your soul permission to guide you, giving your soul permission to reveal to you its secrets, its mysteries. Allowing that bigger picture vision to emerge. Surrendering to that vision. And then, Jim, whenever you're ready, you just take your time and you can guide the ladies as your intuition, as your soul guides you.
Okay, everybody ready?
We are.
Smile if you're ready.
We're ready.
All right. I want to clear a couple of things. We've talked about fear of not making enough money, and focusing on money will not let your light shine. So I just want to share a paradigm around money. And I know Crystal's been wonderful in talking about energy and money and abundance and all that. But just quickly, my definition of abundance and making from a money making perspective is the more people we help and the more we help them, the more money we're going to make. A great example is Mother Teresa. She was one of the wealthier people on the planet. And if you gave her more money, what would she do with it? So this is going to be about you're going to make tons of money. Don't worry about that. But when you live into your soul, your light and your heart and serve people and set boundaries and ask for the right pricing, you're never going to worry about money again. So we're going to create a vision now with that perspective in mind. And I want to make another distinction between mission and vision. So mission could be defined as a big hairy ass goal that's measurable. And so my mission currently is to help 10,000 entrepreneurs make an additional 10,000 a month by the end of 2025. It's measurable, it's time-based, it's big, and I can't do it by myself. So my vision is everything that supports that mission. And so how do we do that? And today, don't worry about getting it right or getting it perfect. Just let it flow through you and stay. You know, if any fear or anxiety comes up, just let it go, because all that does is block off our connection with spirit, with God, with the universe, whatever works for you. And we want to stay connected. So imagine light and love and God's connection coming into the back and top of your head and radiating out from your whole body while you're doing this exercise. So crystallizing your vision is making it real. So you're going to write it in the present tense as if it has already occurred. And you're going to use as many senses as possible. I love the 6 senses. So how do you feel? Who are you being? What does your office or workspace look like? What kind of team surrounds you or systems? Are you playing music in the background? Or do you hear the birds chirping outside your open window in your dream home? Do you have an aromatherapy diffuser? So see how we're including all 6 senses, how you feel, what you see, what you hear, what you smell, what you touch. And when we're doing this exercise today, again, it's perfect, whatever flows through your pen or pencil or mind. So it's just a matter of capturing it. And part of your home play, I think it's called, not homework, will be to expand upon this. So this is just free-form journaling. And before we get started, any questions, any clarity you guys want? So I'm going to add one more thing. There's all 6 senses. It's written in the present tense as if it's already occurred and you know it's going to happen. So you need to strongly believe in your future and know that it's going to happen. And you want to capture your why. What is the purpose? You know, what results, benefits, emotional shifts will you experience? Will your team experience? Will your customers experience? Why is this so important to you? What's your purpose on the planet?
So are we now writing down our vision, that as we've kind of connected to our soul and we are bringing in our senses to make it real? Very good. Okay.
Absolutely.
Right. Very good. I'm excited. All right. Let's take, we're going to do this for 5 minutes because we want to watch our time. You all can finish this on your own later, okay? Just one more minute. All righty. Very good. Would anyone like to share some of what what was revealed to them in this exercise? Would anyone like to share? And maybe I should even say if Alex or Chelsea would like to share, because we just haven't heard from you. Would you all like to share? If not, you don't have to.
I can share really quick.
Sure.
Well, I was just writing about, going into my office and what that felt like what the place I was, like where the office is, like what floor it's on. And then kind of like as I kept writing, I realized like, oh, okay, I think I need to like figure this out. So I like made a little side note in terms of like, if I did have employees, like how much would they be making? Like how much would I be making? If I'm like selling something via commission, like what would they make? So it was kind of helpful in that way. So, if we are thinking
Cool.
big, to
Yeah.
like consider that,
Totally, Alex.
Yeah.
That's my style. Okay.
Yeah.
Totally my style. I get it.
Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much what I had to share.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. Very good.
Thanks.
Excellent. Yeah, I'm the same way. I wrote down my vision. I'm like, okay, so, I found myself like integrating 3 people, and it was like this vision came. It's like, there are going to be these 3 people that are going to help you. They're going to come this year, and you all are going to, each of you are going to work with 60 people, and it's going to be 60 businesses that you each launch every year. And I'm like, oh, wait, 6 times 4, that's 240 businesses launched every year. That's awesome. I love that, So yes, thank you for that, Jim. That was really very good. Excellent.
Yeah, my pleasure. And I love what you said, Alex, because that's exactly the value of crystallizing your vision. When you make it real and you write it down and you feel it, smell it, hear it, etc., then your subconscious brain wants what you're saying to be true, and it starts figuring it out. So you started doing revenue models and action plans, and that's exactly what happens. That's wonderful.
Alex. Revenue models, Alex.
Yeah, I might need some help making those, but
still though, it's awesome.
Yeah, no, it was really great. Yeah.
Very good. Excellent.
Yeah, just a quick note on revenue models, because that freaks out a lot of people, whether it's pro forma or revenue models. But it can be as simple as, I need to make 10,000 a month. So that's 2,500 a week. That's 500 a day. And what do I need to do to get there? Like
exactly.
That's a revenue model. And then you can obviously expand and budget and go into details from there, but that's plenty.
Yeah, easy to do, $500 a day, 4 clients at 125, blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
Right.
Excellent. Business planning. All right. So let's get you all into the next section. We got 2 more sections to cover. And this next section is also something that you don't have to finish now. The last two sections is not something you have to finish now, but I want you to think about these things, okay? So this next part is called the seeds of your vision. And so the question that you all need to answer, this is building on what you've just done, is what needs to happen on the 4 levels of your being to make this vision real. So again, the 4 levels of your being are your mind, your emotions, and the material plane, and then the action plane. Okay? So what do you need to be? Where do you need to be mentally? What needs to happen in your mind? For example, what do you need to learn in order to make your vision real? What mindset adjustments do you need to make? What fears do you need to confront? These are the things that you all need to be kind of dealing with and thinking about as the next step. Then, and Jim, please feel free to jump in. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep moving us through, okay? If something comes up, just jump on in, okay?
You're doing awesome.
All right, thank you. And I don't mind being interrupted. Also, you want to think about what needs to happen emotionally. So where do you need to man up? Where do you need to woman up? Where do you need to put on your big girl panties, okay? And where do you need to nurture yourself? What do you need to do to take care of yourself emotionally so that you can handle this big vision? Because it's big, and you've got your amygdala and your gremlins and your saboteurs working against the agenda, all right? How do you need to deal with them? And how do you need to deal with how they make you feel? Because those gremlins are talking, but it's the feeling nature, it's the energy and motion, it's the emotions that really get us paralyzed with fear, right? So what do you need to do to deal with those emotions? And what do you need to do with the emotions to excite certain emotions? I like to talk about how to deal with negative emotions, but what behaviors do you need to fuel your positive emotions? Who do you need to hang out with? Who do you need to have conversations with? What videos do you need to watch? Which books do you need to read, right? So this is about managing your emotions. When you're dealing with the material and the physical world, what material and physical resources need to be secured? What do you need to make a business plan? Do you need to talk to a banker? Do you need to get investors? Okay. Do you need to do time management? Time is a physical resource. So maybe you need to organize your schedule. You need a couple hours in the day. What needs to be cut out? And in your physical body, what do you need to do to have the energy so that you can handle the rigors of your business? What foods do you need to be eating? How much sleep do you need to be getting? Right? How much water do you need to be drinking? Because if you're not drinking your water, you're getting run down. Okay? Because when you're not hydrated, hello, when you're not hydrated, your body can't function, your mind can't function, you get tired, sluggish, makes you eat more, all that kind of thing. So taking care of yourself on a material level. And then lastly, I have here the energy, actions, and behaviors. So what do you need to be doing? On a regular basis, in order to make your vision happen, what do you need to be doing? There's the plan for your business, right? If I'm going to, if I'm going to work with 60 businesses, there are certain actions I need to take. But also, what kind of actions do you need to take for yourself? I need to get up in the morning and meditate. I need to do yoga. I need to exercise. I need to hang out with my friends. I need to go to the library. I need to go, open up an office space. I need to clear out my office space on a regular basis. I need to clean off my desk. I need to have a clean space. I need to do this with my husband. All these things you need to take responsibility for in order to take care of that big vision. A big vision is great, okay? It's awesome. You need to be responsible to it, right? And I want to give you, Jim, any time to talk if you want to talk or say something, add anything in, please.
Great, thank you. And also I want to open up the floor for any questions or clarification. And Crystal, you have such amazing energy. I'm like, oh my God, I I have to be responsible. I have to do all this stuff. And I want to temper that with, think about team, think about automation, think about systems, think about accountability partners, think about, girlfriends, emotional support, husband, significant other. It's not all, I. As business owners, when we're creating our vision, me helping 10,000 entrepreneurs is not going to happen by myself, and it's not going to happen without systems, without training material, without information products and books and seminars that are kind of prepackaged and planned. So think leverage when you're thinking about this. And the other thing, this may be a random thought, but again, my intuition flowing through me, I love residual income. So
I do too.
as an aside, think about how can you get residual income, whether it's membership or group coaching or, information products, etc. I love like the club idea, the goat cheese of the month club, Cora, like that one.
Excellent.
So anyway, that's
very
all,
good.
That's all I had to add.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic. It's fantastic. I love the idea because as heart-centered entrepreneurs, we tend to do shit all by ourselves,
Right.
And this is why I have this community, so we're not alone. And I also have a personal assistant that I work with. She works for me 20 hours a week, and she's a godsend. Think about how you need to be supported. This is a part of taking responsibility for your big vision. And ladies, we're going to be wrapping up very quickly here, so I need to give you all your home fun. I like how you're so good, Jim. Not home play, home fun, but home play is good as well. Okay, I like home play as well. It's not homework, it's home fun, it's home play. Your home fun, home play for this for now is number one, to spend time reflecting on the big picture. Okay. Think about this, take it seriously and expand it. Okay. Use Jim's crystallize your vision process to practice having those feelings inside you. When you feel in your body the joy of having people work with you, the joy of your offering being embraced, when you practice that feeling, that is a message to the universe to send me more of this feeling. Okay. And the universe must respond with that. And then it must bring back everything that you are putting out. So practice the crystallize your vision process. Look for evidence in the material world of your big vision now. Look for evidence of your big vision sprouting around you every day, all the time, even now. Where can you see pieces of your vision around you now? And the more you practice seeing your big vision sprouting, the more the universe must respond and the more it must grow. Law of Attraction 101. You need to also take consistent daily action on your vision. And this is a big deal. You must assume that this shit is going to work out. Please go ahead, Jim.
I just added to the notes that you sent me, take consistent daily courageous action. So take action in the face of fear. Do something uncomfortable every day. And I got that from Tim Ferriss, and he's
Love him.
the rock star. Yeah, crazy, but effective.
Yes, absolutely. I built my entire business based on the 4-hour work week. That's exactly why I am where I am, traveling the world and doing this online business. And so, yes, making sure that you're taking daily action on your vision is going to make sure that your vision actually does unfold, that you give birth to it. Doing regular research to support your vision's needs. Okay, so you don't know everything. It's okay to not know something. Go ahead and learn about it. Read books, read audiobooks, get professional help, which is one of the things that I also have on here for you to do. Go ahead, Jim.
I just want to add, like, a lot of us can get addicted to learning.
Yeah.
And learn. And what I mean by learning is watching videos or tutorials or reading books. And what I want to say as a rule of thumb is, for every half hour of learning, do an hour of doing related to that learning, because that's where the learning actually comes.
That's
where
so smart. That is so brilliant. That is so well said, man, because it is so absolutely true. Learning and then application, right? That's where the learning is in the application. So yes, beautiful, beautiful. Researching, and the thing that I want you to remember is that your vision is your baby. Okay. And you would never just put your baby down and go do something else, like, without coming back to check on your baby, right? So your baby needs attention. It needs nurturing. You don't force your baby to grow. Like, you 6 months old, but you need to be 1 year old, damn it. You 6 months old, but you need to be 3 years old, damn it. No, you don't do that. You wouldn't do that to a baby. Don't do that to your business. Don't try to force it to be something that it's not. Nurture it and it will blossom. Yeah. Jim, were you gonna say something? Okay. All
Just
right.
clearing my throat.
Oh, okay.
There's a lot of smoke in California.
I know. Oh, create a big picture vision board. All right. I love vision boards. They're fun. They're creative. While you're creating, and I like 3D vision boards. Don't just do your vision board digitally. Okay. Get magazines, cut them out. Okay. Cut out the shape of your office chair. Cut out the shape of the money, because that shapes your senses. Okay. This is bringing in those senses again. And make your vision board beautiful. Put it in a frame and then pop it up on your wall and look at that every day and watch it manifest. Okay. And get professional help and guidance to eliminate guesswork and to help you speed along your path. Working with a professional like myself or like Jim is going to help you go faster. We've gone through stuff. We have solutions. Our job as coaches is to walk you through. Doing stuff on your own is great, okay? Love it. It is good. It is powerful. But working one-on-one with a coach is also going to help you thrive, right? It takes you to another level. It'll cut years off of the process. You're talking to someone who, when she works with a coach, goes from here to here very quickly. When she does it by herself, it's like this: 1, okay, and then back a little, and then 2, then back a little bit, and then 3, and then back a little bit, and then I'm going to go here, and then I'm going to go over here and do this because I lost my motivation, okay? And then the last thing I want to offer is to pray, okay? Pray and stay focused on what's important. Don't be afraid to pray to God. Pray to whoever you want to. Pray to a tree. I don't care. Talk out loud and feel supported. Say, I have an issue. I need help. Universe, help me. Okay? Receive that support. Use that support. All right? Awesome. So, ladies, Jim has put his contact information in the comments here in the chat. Go grab his information right now, because before we get off the call, it's going to be gone when we get off the call, right? So it's in there at 7:26 a.m. There's everything there. And he's put another link in here as well. Okay. Oh, he's put a link in there to visioning for something. I don't know what that's about. Sorry. Because I don't do well with the
That's just
chats.
an example. If somebody gets stuck on crystallizing your vision, you can just go to that link. It's peakbusinesscoaching.com/vision. And
Perfect.
that's what I created for my business as an example.
Awesome. Thank you for that. So grab that link as well, ladies. And then I want to thank Jim so much for joining us today. You guys, wasn't this fun? Wasn't this awesome? You can unmute yourselves. Feel free to give a round of applause, okay? Unmute yourselves and a round of applause for Jim, and many, many, many thanks. This was fun.
It was absolutely fun and such a blessing and an honor. You're in such good hands with Crystal. It's been just a joy, and it flowed so well. It's like we have complementary gifts. It's
yeah,
really,
totally.
amazing. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
I'm Aquarius. He's Leo. Okay, this totally works. Awesome. Yeah, thank you. And thank you everybody for coming. Thanks for joining us today. There will be a replay of this on YouTube and also in the Facebook group. If you're there, you can grab it from either place. All right. So signing off, everybody.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thank you, everybody. Bye for now.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Kick-ass butterflies.
Woohoo! Badass butterflies. Woohoo! Bye.